every day, one by one, I'm gonna try every recipe of Laura, starting from the very beginning. Come, join me on my challenge. Let's go! Hi everyone! My name is Ruta and welcome to the 267th day of my challenge, where I'm gonna try yet another dessert which Google Translate just gets totally confused about when trying to translate it to my own Lithuanian language, and it's apple cranberry cobbler. What was that? Crumble. You guys have, well, I'm addressing now Americans, I don't know, maybe you also have in other countries these things as well, but for us, I mean seriously, even Google Translate is like, I don't know what that is. So just by looking at the ingredients though, I'm expecting something nice because I love apple dessert-like things. This will be exactly that. So if you're curious to see how it goes trying out this very interesting recipe for the very first time, then keep on watching. We're gonna need 2 large or 4 smaller apples, peeled, cored, and cut into bite-sized pieces, 150 grams of cranberries, 100 grams of sugar, 25 grams of chopped walnuts, and 40 grams of raisins. And for topping, we're gonna need 100 grams of flour, 100 grams of butter, melted, 50 grams of sugar, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of orange zest, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And for serving, of course, some powdered sugar. I've started by turning on my oven to preheat to 180 degrees, and now I'm gonna prepare my baking pan because once I start mixing, the recipe will end. This is one of those super quick ones. So I'm gonna lightly spray my baking pan with some nonstick cooking spray. I actually call this my cake pan just because it's the smallest baking pan I own, so I opted for this. But if you want to make or to take this recipe to a whole new cuteness level, just take 6 ramekins, spray all of them, and divide what we will make among them. But as my mom, I know you're already like bored and tired of hearing this. My mom doesn't really own separate ramekins, so I'm just gonna make everything in one baking pan. I have a large bowl here so that it would be super easy for me to mix. I'm gonna make the filling now, so I'm gonna take apples, sugar, walnuts, raisins, and cranberries and just mix everything together. Actually, I'm gonna leave this to the very end just because my cranberries are really fragile. If you have firmer ones, you can add them together and just, mix everything together. Or if you're using frozen ones, that would work too, but just so that I wouldn't, make them bleed everywhere, I'm gonna mix first all of this and then gently add this. That went way better than I expected. So now, if you're using ramekins, just divide all of this among them. But I'll just add everything now to my baking pan. Alrighty, and the next and basically last step is making the topping. So to the same bowl, I'm gonna add flour, butter, sugar, orange zest, salt, vanilla extract, and the eggs, and just mix everything together. Look at this! So, I don't know, does this still count like 2 eggs? Alrighty, so now this again, if you're using separate ramekins, divide this among all of them, which should be 6. I don't know how many times I mentioned this in this video, you count. But again, as I have one, I'll just spread it all over the top, making sure to level it out. And now into the oven for 30 minutes. down like 10-15 minutes just so that I wouldn't scorch my mouth because it smells so good. Oh my god. Wow. I don't get why again is this not called a cake? Is cobbler speedy cake? Because that's what it looks like. My god, this is really, really nice. Everything. Sometimes I feel like outro becomes just me eating what I made, but this is so good. I mean, the bottom is so juicy because of all the apples, and the cranberries are amazing. I haven't bite into, I can see one raisin, I'm not a huge fan of them, but everything else is really nice. And this is kind of like a sponge cake on the top, which is also so flavorful because of that orange. It's a bit like crunchy. My god! In Lithuanian, if I tried to describe it to my friends or family, I would totally say cobbler is something like a speedy cake. Like you don't have much time, you don't have an hour to spare for the cake to bake. This is, I feel like, as close as it gets. I'm conscious, can you see? I'm consciously stopping. This is really good. I love apple desserts. If you like apples, if you like kind of biting into some tartness, it's not overly tart or overly sweet. It's just like there's this perfect balance and there's a crunch from the blood. I'm a fan. What can I say? I'm a real fan. Actually, in less than half an hour, I should leave. We're going to escape room with my family. I'm seriously contemplating bringing this as a little snack or reward, just throwing in some, forks or maybe spoons, because I saw there's like really, really nice sauce on the bottom. I highly advise to try this one, really. It's so hard to resist taking another bite. Okay, I should wrap it up because when I have something like this, it's really hard to not to eat on camera, basically. So if you want to see how it goes, not trying it for the very first time, but how a pro makes it, check out there. This is Laura's original recipe. And if you want a kind of like converted measurements of it, metric system ones, check the description box down below because I found a bite. Yay! Because I am converting every single recipe I try into the metric system just because I'm using it. So I'm sure a lot of people can, benefit from that. And again, you have to try this one. This is so good. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye!